So let's move on to the Discover Central division.
I love those ads.
Brendan, you started off this time.
Shades, I think like the East Division, I think we have a clear-cut number one here in Tampa Bay. I mean,
not Detroit? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think I really need to explain much about Tampa. Obviously, they're just a complete powerhouse up front, powerhouse defensively with Sergachev and Hedman. There's a lot of Hedman can possibly win another Norris. Vasilevsky and net. With Kucherov out in this division, I'm not really sure if that's going to be an issue. Last year they didn't have Stamkos for much of the year, and he's their captain as well. So for them to play well without even their captain, to me, is like it. I don't think it's going to be an issue for them. This division gets really, really tricky. Shades. I feel like I probably put the Hurricanes at 2, just because I feel like they did pick up a couple big pieces, but I think defensively they also are one of the better teams with Hamilton, Pesci. Give me a couple more defensemen that they have, because I know they have more than that. Jacob Slavin, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, Brady Shea, exactly, ex-Ranger. And also a nice addition for them depth-wise is Jesper Foss as well. We know how Carolina could play. I mean, they destroyed us last year in the playoffs. So the question mark for me is really the goalie, the goaltending for them. But I think as well, I think they'll be okay in this division. So I got Dallas at 3.
They haven't played a game yet.
This is also they have not played a single game
Mysterious.
yet. So
it's gonna happen.
You don't know what the hell they're going to be like. I know Tyler Seguin didn't have some surgery, but they are coming off losing in the Stanley Cup Finals. Ben Bishop is still out. I'm pretty sure he's still injured, which is just like, when is Ben Bishop never injured? I feel like he's injured every year. But Khudobin did sign an extension right after last season, so I believe he'll be the goaltending.
Yep.
Will be goaltending. I mean, we saw what they could do last year in the Stanley Cup Final, so I feel like they could probably make the top 4. And at 4, I have the Blue Jackets making it at 4, just because I feel like they're always like a sleeper pick. Like, even if they're not playing well recently, I just feel like with John Tortorella as coach, you could just never count them out, because these guys, sometimes they just go off. They still have Atkinson, Foligno. They have who's the goalie again?
Merzlikins.
And who else do they have? It's Corpusalo. There you go. That's what I was thinking of. Corpusalo and net as well. So we'll see what happens with them. I guess the biggest question mark is Dubois. Is he staying? Is he going? We'll see.
Woj.
Yeah, another weird division where it's like a few good teams and a bunch of really bad teams. But I think number 1, I'm going to go Carolina, just because their team hasn't changed that much. And if anything, they got a lot better depth-wise with them adding Foss. But you look at guys like Aho, Teravainen, Slavin, and Svechnikov. I think they're really poised to have a really good year this year. And their goaltending is not great, but it's not terrible either. They have Mrazek and they have Reimer. So that's a pretty good tandem to have, I think. 2, I'll go Tampa. They lost a lot of key guys like Bogosian and there's another defenseman, I forgot who it was.
Shattenkirk.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, Shattenkirk. Randy's great. They lost those 2. Kucherov's out for the year, so you're gonna have to really weigh in on Point, and Stamkos is only getting older. And losing those 2 guys in the back end is going to put a little bit more pressure on Hedman, who can handle it. But I just think him easily, he's the number 1 guy, and he's got McDonough with him in the defensive core. It's going to be interesting to see how they are. And then 3rd, I'll go Nashville, just because they're good defensively too. They got a couple good forwards. I think Saros is the starter this year. I don't know if Rene retire. Is he?
No, I'm pretty sure he's still with them.
No, he's still on the team.
He's gotten a surgery a few years ago, and I don't think he's obviously on the decline of his career. And then 4 is tough. Dallas hasn't played yet. Columbus is the team that's going to outwork anybody. So I guess I'll go with them. I don't really like what I see too much from Florida so far. But I'll
But
go
I am
Columbus just
happy that
because you can't really count. Yeah.
Sorry to cut
He
you
didn't
off
get
there. Well, I was
scratched.
just gonna say I'm happy that the Yandle didn't end
No,
up
it's
getting
all good.
scratched though, so the Iron Man streak is still alive.
The Sonk father.
Yeah, the Sonk didn't get sonked.
Yeah,
There you
Sonk.
go.
Yeah, they sonked Yandle. They were like, yeah, we're gonna scratch him. Yeah, Sonk.
Yeah, and then he pulled out
Sonked
the
him back,
goal and
yeah.
said Sonk.
Exactly. Fucking
Yeah.
beast. Shades. Let's give us your
I'll give it to
predictions,
Columbus
kid.
4th.
Columbus
Yeah.
4th for Woj. All right. Gotta say, I got Brendan, same as you. I got 1 and 2, Tampa and Carolina. Tampa, in my opinion, still the best team in that division, even with Kucherov most likely out for the season. They just got a really good team on paper, and it shows on the ice. Carolina, number 2, because, I mean, we saw what they did 2 seasons ago and last year. And I honestly, like, the addition of Jesper Fast, I think is actually really going to help them, especially in the playoffs. But no, solid overall team with the way they play. Love their head coach, Brindamore. Number 2 for me. Number 3, Nashville. This is where I kind of started to get a little hesitant picking them, because I'm just like, I still like Ekholm, Ellis, and Yossi. I like their goaltending. I like, but don't love their forwards. It's just an offense. I don't want to say barren team, but they struggle offensively to score. So, which is why I couldn't put them any higher, but that's where I have them. And number 4, the reigning defending Western Conference champions, Dallas Stars. I mean, they just went to the Cup final. I think I'd be pretty stupid to not include them in the playoffs this year, even with Sagan out, who's a major piece of their offense. So those are the 4 I got. Any thoughts?
Yeah. No, just to add, I feel like this division is just, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I guess in all these divisions, hopefully there's no, game, because there's been already a couple games postponed within this division. So they'll have to make them up, and we'll see what happens. Probably a lot of back-to-backs.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting how this plays out.